The reason why some people aren't better is because they're bitter. Holding on to bitterness will literally block your blessings, and it'll block your blessings because bitterness creates blind spots in your life. A lot of times when you're bitter, it's because you're holding on to not the actual act, but you're holding on to how that act made you feel. So something happened to you, it caused a chain reaction inside of you to feel a certain way. And the bitterness comes because you hold on to that feeling. So it bleeds on into how you do life. You ever talk to someone and then they tell you about, nobody ever believed in me. That's why I'm doing this for them and blah, 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 blah. Reality is 2 people said that they wasn't going to be nothing. That 2 turns into everyone because bitterness now drives the narrative of their life. 2 people said that they wasn't going to be nothing. And those 2 people that said that they wasn't going to be nothing ain't nothing themselves. But they hold on into how that moment made them feel. And now they do life from that aspect. Those are the type of people that come onto social media and everything that they do is focused on how that 2 incidents made them feel. I'll give you a better situation. There's a lot of men and women, but I'm focusing on the men because I'm a man. There's a lot of men out there who, because their first girlfriend broke their heart, or their second girlfriend, or they might have had a string of 3 girls that broke their heart, and they hold on to that bitterness. Now, every woman that they come across is going to pay. And they mask it by saying, none of these females are nothing. You can't trust these females. But the real issue is the females that they're picking. You see, when a guy's sole mission is to take a woman from another man, that has a lot to do with what they've been through. See, now, because they were hurt back then and they're bitter, they do life and they say, okay, I'm gonna show. And in their mind, in their crazy mind, they're trying to let the man know, see, these girls ain't nothing. But if you are focused on those type of girls, that's what you're gonna get. Bitterness creates blind spots. I'll do you another example. Let's just say we talk about bitter baby mamas. There's bitter baby daddies too. And because that situation didn't work out, you hold on to what that moment made you feel like. So now, because the situation didn't work, they gotta pay. And the person that really pays is the child. Bitterness will literally block your blessings and cause blind spots. A lot of times you might have a friend group and you find out that they've been talking about you. That incident, that moment hurts you. And when you don't let go of the bitterness and you don't address it, it becomes you. Now you say, see, that's why I don't rock with nobody. I'm by myself. I'm a one-man army. What war have been won with one person? But that bitterness blinds you. So now you go through life and you don't trust nobody. But I believe that God has strategic people in this world that has to meet you to bring something out of you. Now, that don't mean that y'all gonna be best friends. They're gonna serve their purpose for that moment and then they're gone. But because you are now a one-man army, your bitterness blocks your blessing. So now you saying that stupid stuff, no new friends, no new friends. Well, I'll make it even plain for you. The real reason why you was with those people anyway is because all y'all was just trauma bonding. It was just a collective of bitter people that have experienced certain things that they had not let go, and y'all came together because birds of a feather flock together. And when you got a group of bitter people, everything else sounds foreign. Everything else sounds like you speaking another language, and they looking at you crazy. Man, yeah, they ain't nobody that happy. See, when I come on here and I do these videos, I'm telling you, I hear everything because this is how the world works. People will come tell me, right? Ain't nobody that happy. Ain't nobody, this, that, and other. Because I remember that one time when he got mad and he came on here and he was dogging people out. Now he talking about you got to let God go. Bitterness will keep you there. And that's my message in this video today. Some people cannot get better until they let that bitterness go. You might have had a messed up childhood. You might not be cool with your mother. You might not be cool with your father. And until you address that situation, that bitterness seeps into your life because now you bleed onto your kids. And if you feel like my mama didn't do this for me, my dad, you say, I'm going to be everything that they weren't. But now your kids talking to you crazy. Now your kids are doing things in front of you that is crazy, but the way that your bitterness is set up, you like, well, I wasn't able to do X, Y, and Z, so now they get to do X, Y, and Z. And what service is that to your kids? And that's why we have these kids that are now in the world that don't even know how to say thank you. We live in a world that these kids won't even open the door for you. They will not even acknowledge you, walk right past you, don't say nothing. You know why? Because it starts at home. But if your home is rooted in bitterness, it has to bear fruit. You see, a lot of people right now that are going through some mess, they will blame the world. Oh man, we going to war about. They will have all of these excuses. But sometimes it's just everything that you planted in the ground is harvesting. For a lot of people, this is the season that everything that they put in the ground is now bearing fruit. You've been a horrible person. Guess what? Them seeds have now grown up. And I'm not saying that it's too late, but until you really address the issue, you don't think nothing wrong. You think everybody else is wrong. Let's just say this. Some people, they can't apologize because back in the day, they were told that means that you're weak. So now you don't apologize, but you don't understand that non-apology is causing the separation. Then you have other people that will apologize at the drop of the dime and it don't mean nothing. I was talking to somebody when we were talking about freedom of speech. And I always tell people, I fought for freedom of speech, but freedom of speech does not come without some form of repercussion. You can literally walk up to someone and say, "You're ugly." Now they knock your teeth out your mouth. You can't then say, "Well, I got freedom of speech." Yeah, you can say whatever you want to say. But what comes with that is what comes with that. I did all of this stuff for the right of freedom of speech. But that does not mean it doesn't come with consequences. So when you come on these social media platforms, and you allow that bitterness to have these blind spots, and then you start going off on people, then the next thing you know, you're not mad anymore a week later, and now you trying to, "Oh, I'm so sorry." No. Because for a lot of people, that damage is already done. I'm the type of person that I can forgive you because I'm not going to mess up my blessings by holding on to a grudge. But that don't mean I ever got to deal with you again. I used to tell my grandma all the time, and she used to laugh. There is not one Bible verse. I want y'all to show me the Bible verse that it says, "Ye be a fool." So you do something to me, I'm not going to be stuck in the bitterness of how that moment made me feel. I have to let it go because I don't want to block my blessings. But you would be a fool to think that you can be around me anymore. I'm not in the business of seeing past what you do and see your heart. I am not God. I go by what you show me. I go by, if you show me that you're a liar, I have to believe that you're a liar. And the only way that I'm not going to believe that you're a liar is you have to have a string of not lying. Now, that's not tied to bitterness. That's just tied to me being well aware. Bitterness would have been somebody lied to me and now I go on through life thinking everyone lies. You go through a divorce and then you talk to a person that has been divorced, what's the first thing that they be saying to you? "That's why I don't believe in marriage. There ain't nowhere in the world that the government need to get in my business." No, you're just hurt and you have not addressed it. And when you don't address something, that thing becomes you. Now you are the divorce and you show up as a divorce because you haven't healed. So now that's how you show up, because the very thing that you don't address will define you. That's why you can't talk to certain people so long, because as they start talking, you start realizing, like, who hurt you? How is your outlook on life so bad? Because I'm looking at you. You got food on the table. You got a nice house. You drive a nice car. You got this, that, and the other. But when you open your mouth, it's like, who hurt you? That's because you have not taken the time to heal. And you can't heal unless you address. And that bitterness will create blind spots, and that blind spots will stop the blessings.